Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden. And before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this on your Facebook page. Hold on, I forgot something. Okay, check these out. These are some of the gorgeous Lisianthus that I have grown from seed in my own Zone 8 garden. And I've gotten really good at it. Not gonna lie, totally really good at it. I have at least 2 more buckets fulls and I've already harvested a bunch and they're just growing beautifully. So what I want to do today is I'm going to share with you all my tips, tricks, and secrets for growing Lisianthus from seed. Now, Lisianthus is a couture high-end bloom, highly sought after by florists, specifically for the wedding industry. And one beautiful stem, let me grab a stem, one stem can cost $3 to $5 wholesale. So you can imagine what it would probably potentially go for retail price. And growing these myself is a huge money saver, first of all, but I was never going to go buy Lisianthus anyway. But being able to grow these at home is really awesome. They're just a very unique, beautiful, long-lived bloom that really just kind of keeps on giving. So why am I starting Lisianthus from seed right now in June during the summer? Lisianthus is a long season, slow growing plant, very slow growing plant. Starting seeds now gives you a robust transplant ready to go into the ground in late fall or early spring for next year's blooms. Now, these are hardy in zones 8 through 10. I'm zone 8. Must be protected from moist winter weather, so I do have them in raised beds so that the soil drains really well, and then they get covered anytime it's below 28 degrees. I'll put frost cloth over these in order to make sure that they do okay. In warmer climates like mine, starting Lisianthus in the summer gives you really strong plants that can overwinter and bloom very earlier next spring. Although mine blooms summer, I should say earlier next summer. Now, for those of you who are in colder zones than where I am, you can certainly use all these techniques we're going to work on today. And if you are not going to start your Lisianthus now to go outside, because you're in the colder zone, you can use all these techniques to start again, potentially in December, January, depending on where your first day of spring falls. Okay, Lisianthus seeds can take up to 5 to 6 months to bloom. So that's why they have to be started much earlier than you would on other seeds. Early starting is critical. And you can buy Lisianthus plugs, and there's lots of people who buy Lisianthus plugs. They can be $2 to $4 per plug, so it's just way easier for me to just grow them from seed. Now, if I was not going to start these during summer, when would I start them to plant out in the spring? Probably for these, I would start them in December. Yeah. I would probably start all these seeds in December, grow them on inside January, February, March. Once I was past my last frost, I'd plant them out at the end of March, and then they would grow April, May, and then give me blooms in June. So you kind of have to think back from how long it's going to take for these to mature, because these can definitely be like 150 to 180 days to maturity, quite a long time. And they're not going to grow as well inside as they will outside. So once you get those seedlings outside is when they really start to take off. But once again, even if you're not in zone 8 or 9, 8, 9, or 10, where these are hardy, if you're in a colder zone, you can still use all this seed starting technique that I'm going to show you today. Okay, so most of the seeds I'm starting today are not going to go into my garden. What ends up happening for me for Lisianthus, I have a bed filled with probably close to 100 plants. And at this point in time, most of them just act as a perennial and just keep going in my garden. So I don't really have that many to replace. I'll replace a little bit each year. So most of these are going to be going to my friend Kristen. And so a lot of these are her color palettes that she's selected. I prefer to grow kind of these lighter, brighter lavenders, pinks, whites. That's really what I dig. But you're going to see some really interesting colors with some of the ones that Kristen has selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get set up for seed starting. And then as I seed each variety, I'll talk to you about all the details of that particular variety. Okay, so we're actually going to be using the Vigo seed starting trays. And these are not my favorite, so I don't typically recommend them anymore. I love what I've got going with the Amazon seed trays better. But I'm going to use these because I am out of Amazon seed trays. As you can see, I've got them everywhere. So we're going to start with these. They are going to go in a 10 by 20. Let me grab it. They are going to go in a 10 by 20 tray. And I think I can end up getting 8 of them in here. And then I will also put a lid, a humidity dome on this while the seeds are germinating. Correct. That is 8 in there. So we're going to do 8. So I think what we'll do is do 2 trays or 2 sets of each variety. That will give us 16 of each variety when it's all said and done. Okay, the soil that I'm going to be using is Burger BM7 potting soil. And I use it for all my potting, all my containers, as well as seed starting. And I'm just going to come in with my Vigo trays, come in across, and then use a couple of fingers to gently push down the soil. We want it slightly compacted, but not too much. And I'm going to go ahead and fill up all the trays right now. It's easier than going back and forth. And I'm always so excited to show people how to start Lisianthus because it took me so long to get it figured out and have success. So I want other people to have success as well doing this. And I make a Lisianthus video every year, even though I already have other ones. It's just an easier way to get people watching and learning about Lisianthus. Now I do want to point out that we gently compacted everything, nothing too intense. This center one is actually not a cell. All right, let me bring y'all in closer so you can see these seeds. Okay, so the Lisianthus seeds are surface sow. They absolutely must have light to germinate. So when we put the seeds on, they're going to go directly on top. So this first one we're starting out with is Roseanne 2 Terracotta, and it's pelleted, and all of the Lisianthus seeds that we have today are from Johnny's Selected Seeds. And when I say pelleted, they have a water-soluble coating right on the around the seed. And so all I'm going to do, it makes it a lot easier because Lisianthus seeds are so unbelievably tiny. I'm going to start by just putting 1 in each seed cell. And remember, the center one is not a seed cell for the Vigo containers. Just like that. And you notice I have not added moisture to my container yet. So the soil is still dry, which is great because it allows me the opportunity to go in and gently press these down to make sure they have really good contact with the soil. Oh, we want to make sure that I don't move those from place to place. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do that for each variety, and then I'm going to talk to you about each of the varieties. Roseanne 2 Terracotta Lisianthus features unique ruffled blooms in soft terracotta hues with subtle lavender and rose undertones. Plants reach about 24 to 36 inches tall with strong stems ideal for cutting. Grows best in full sun and well-draining soil. Mariachi Pure White Lisianthus offers elegant, fully double, rose-like blooms in crisp white. Compact and sturdy, it grows 18 to 24 inches tall and is perfect for both containers and cut flower arrangements. It prefers full sun and rich, well-draining soil. Voyage 2 Pink Lisianthus produces extra large, deeply ruffled blooms in a soft rose pink shade with strong stems and excellent vase life. Grows 24 to 36 inches tall and thrives in full sun with moderate watering. Roseanne 2 Brown is known for its stunning, smoky, rose-brown flowers with subtle hints of lavender and green, offering a moody, romantic look. Plants reach 24 to 36 inches tall and perform best in full sun with fertile, well-draining soil. And then we're going to put a lid over the top of this to help keep the humidity in. Okay, and I definitely want to be able to see what's going on with my Lisianthus. So I'm moving a few things around, and I'm going to put it right here under the lights carefully. Now, one of the reasons I want it right there is that lid does not fit perfectly over the top. So it might hurt the humidity a little bit, which means that I have to really be on top and making sure that this stays nice and moist. So I want it right front and center in front of me to make sure I pay attention to the humidity level. Okay, so a few things about the Lisianthus. It is surface soaked, do not cover it, needs light. It must have minimum 14 hours of light per day to germinate. So my lights are on 14 hours a day. And so it should be fine. You need to cover it with a humidity dome so that they stay nice and moist. It needs to be kept at about 70 to 75 degrees to germinate. Bottom heat helps if you're wanting to germinate it faster. I'm not worried about germinating it faster at this point because I'm not in a hurry, and my house tends to be at about 72 degrees, so that should work really great. It takes about 10 to 15 days to germinate. However, I've seen some Lisianthus take up to 21 days, so be patient and wait for it to come along. Grows very slowly, but that is normal. So very important to remember, these will be very tiny little seedlings when we finally transplant them out into the garden in October. But they will grow very, very slowly to begin with, but super excited about those. So a little bit about aftercare and transplanting. You want to pot these up once you have 2 to 3 sets of true leaves. Remember, the first leaves you see sprout out are seed leaves. Everything after that is true leaves. So once you have 2 to 3 sets of true leaves, go ahead and pot those up to a larger container. For me, I typically just pot them, take the little seedlings and put them directly into the garden. Transplant with as little root disturbance as possible. We don't want to mess with the roots. Don't tease them. Don't mess with them at all. That doesn't like root disturbance. Harden off 7 to 10 days in partial shade before planting in the garden. Plant outside in October to November for zones 8, 9, and 10. And you want to plant them about 6 to 8 inches apart. Full sun, well-draining soil. Well-draining soil is so incredibly important. These do not grow well in my native soil, my native clay soil. These grow great in raised beds where I've amended the soil. You want to pinch to encourage bushiness, and these can be overwintered in a greenhouse. So if you're someone who has a greenhouse and you're in a colder zone and you would like to overwinter, you can totally do that. But now what I really want to do is really want to arrange those Lisianthus. So a lot of these Lisianthus aren't in very good shape. I just waited too long to harvest them, you know, because life. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick out, clean some of them up, get rid of any of the blooms that are older and don't look very nice, make a nice pile, and then I'll put together a pretty arrangement to show y'all. One of the best things about Lisianthus is one stem is not going to have just one bloom. It is going to bloom its little head off with a ton of blooms. So when you see the first bloom come along, that's not necessarily going to be the best. The best ones are going to get towards the end, which is really fun. So you can see the older bloom right here, the original bloom right there. And then I can clip off some of the lower blooms that aren't as in great of shape, and then still have a really beautiful stem. And a lot of these fell over. They do a lot better with staking, so that's why some of them just don't look as nice or have a curved effect to them. Never try to harvest Lisianthus seeds. Might be interesting to try because they are so incredibly pricey. They are the tiniest of seeds, so even being able to locate them would be, oh, I see some dust in here. Okay, so at this point, all I'm going to do is just start gathering some together. And I'm doing a hand-tied bouquet. For those of y'all who don't know, I do have a background as a florist. And I'm going to design with my right hand because I'm right-handed. And then I'm going to put the blooms in my left hand, holding between my pointer finger and my thumb. And I'm just going to rotate as I put flowers in. Now, these stems are super wonky because they fell over outside. So I'll wait and I'll design just kind of going in a circle. And as I get to like stems that are more straight, I'll work them towards the center. That one's a little bit more straight. So I'm going to go in there and just put it in the center to kind of fill in the center. And then I'll just keep rotating the bouquet as I'm working with it. Okay, just to take a minute. That's one stem. Gorgeous, right? I mean, just Lisianthus are just ridiculous. I feel like they have the presence of roses, but just more roughly and a little bit more, I would say, vintage. Very romantic styling. Some to sit up further than others. I'm going to go in with a couple of fingers and pull some up a little bit higher in some areas just to make the bouquet a little bit more whimsical and fun. Just like that. So the vase I'm using is a mid-century modern splatter glaze vase. It's really pretty. I'm just going to cut my extra stems off directly into my bucket, and I really want my blooms to sit just above the rim of the vase. I don't actually want to see a lot of the stems in the vase. Make sure it's all the way down in the vase before I let go. And then when I let go, I can then come in and move some things around and adjust to make sure it's the way I want. Really pretty. Love it. All right, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video learning my secrets and tips for starting Lisianthus from seed. I will keep you updated with these Lisianthus as I go through the process with them, and I hope you will give them a try. They are pricey seeds, and I definitely wasted a lot of money before I finally figured it out what works best for me in my area. So I hope that my tips will also help you out so that you can grow these gorgeous cut flowers for your garden. All right, you all, as always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the video so much, as well as my channel. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to check me out in my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It is all things She's a Mad Gardener, all things gardening. It's a great group of people. There is a free tier that you can join in under, and there are additional paid tiers that you can join in under as well. It's a great way to continue to support my gardening journey on YouTube. And it's just a really great way to get more access to stuff, including exclusive videos only available to tiered patrons, as well as group chats and photo sharing. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.